Return to Silent Hill is a 2026 French-American horror film directed by Christophe Gans and stars Jeremy Irvine and Hannah Emily Anderson. And this is based on the 2001 game Silent Hill 2, most likely in the messiest way possible. Well, guys, my January beatdown has been pretty savage so far, and it just continues to get worse. I saw Primate last night, which was 2 nights ago. Sorry, which was awful, and then I saw this movie last night, which was even worse. I get that this is a video game movie, which historically they almost never work, but I actually do like that first Silent Hill movie. I've always liked it. Sure, it had kind of a clunky story, but it also had a grimy, gross, kind of very brutal at times style. And I also played the first game a lot back when it came out. I really did think it was great. Very, very scary game, and I've always appreciated it for like pushing a 19-year-old me, more in the direction of horror. So the first movie really gets a pass for me. It always has. Silent Hill Revelation was pretty bad though. Say what you want about that first movie, because some people don't like it, but I don't remember a single thing about Revelation. And I think the main complaint about both movies, just from what I've always gathered, has always been that they took way too many liberties with the story and not staying true to the games, I guess. I only did play that first game back in 2001, so I never did play any of the others. And I haven't played that first game even since, like, 2001 or 2 probably, so I can only judge this movie as a movie. From what very little I read, this movie does take some liberties as well, and deviates, I guess, from the games at times, but I wouldn't know. But to me, like, it plays like a movie that mirrors the game exactly, and I mean that in a kind of a negative way. This was clearly made for the fans of the games, and or at least that's what I assume, and I do respect that, but it's definitely to the detriment of the rest of us. I mean, again, I've at least played that first game. I'd seen both movies, and I barely fucking understood what was going on in this goddamn thing for a good percentage of the runtime. And I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say it right now, this is one of the worst movies I think I've ever seen. I don't think I'd been that baffled like that during a movie in a long time. Not only at how bad it was, but how hard it was to fucking follow. This movie was just such a mess, man. I'd say it was botched in the editing room, but I don't even think it was. It's supposed to be, a psychological horror story, but if you're watching it as a movie, not knowing anything about the games, it's just confusing. Not to mention, for me, it was just pretty uninteresting most of the time. Early on, I was at least a little bit intrigued, even though the movie looks like total shit. They did incorporate like camera angles that look right out of the game, which was cool, I guess. There are also like character dialogue moments that look like they are probably right out of the game too, which, I think some of you will really like. And there are even shots where it looked like there are like filters used to make it look more video game-ish, which again, kind of cool, but it's also kind of distracting, and it gets old quick. But at the end of the day, I can put up with all this stuff. I can put up with all the shortfalls for some gnarly horror stuff like the 2006 movie. Because for me, one of the cooler aspects of the Silent Hill universe is those creepy monster designs. The creepy nurses or whatever those things are, the mannequins or whatever. And of course, the fan favorite villain, Pyramid Head. But man, I was sadly disappointed because we only really get a few monsters. They all look terrible. I'll be honest, I thought they were completely CGI. Like 100% CGI. But apparently actors were used. They also weren't used properly, which is, to build dread. That's kind of what the Silent Hill, franchise is all about, building that dread, and it just never happens. Not for me, it didn't. They even dropped the ball with Pyramid Head, the big bad. He looks CGI to me. He looks small. He's not imposing or threatening. The first time we see him in the 2006 movie, he literally grabs a woman and rips all of her skin off in one swoop. We don't get anything like that here. I don't even know why this movie's rated R, to be honest. And don't even get me started on the acting. Look, I'm a pretty empathetic guy, but I couldn't stop laughing during an emotional scene near the end where our main character is in tears. It was literally my favorite part of the movie. I just couldn't stop laughing. So I think this movie will only appeal to people that played the game, and even then, I'm not sure if they will like it. So I'm giving Return to Silent Hill half a star out of 4 stars, officially the lowest score I've ever given a movie. Cheers, guys, and I'll see you at the multiplex.
Subscribe right now, please.